The Waimea community meal has been running here at St. James Church in Waimea for the last 4 years, providing a free meal on a Thursday for any who come, the community at large. And it is supported by many farmers, ranchers, bakers in the community, and volunteers come from all over to help us serve. Well, that was until mid-March, when we had to take a break and realized we could have to stop our gathering in the pavilion, but we didn't want to stop the meal. So we reopened as a drive-through only, and the servers are much fewer. There's a dedicated group of car hops who now hand the box meals through car windows to our drive-by guests. And we're also able to share a lot of produce from farms that are donated to us, and sometimes that we bought from local farmers, that we share with our guests, so that not only do they get the box meal, but a nice bag of veggies and some extra special treats. The last couple of weeks we've been giving away eggs as well.
Hi, would you like a crack, kid?
So we're still learning what the drive-through looks like. We're in week 4, I believe. Oh no, this is week 5. We have, by 4 o'clock, often cars start to line up, and we actually go and tell them if it's that early, can you drive around a bit and not fill up the circle, because we won't start serving until 4:30. But by that time, there are at least 25 cars in a big row around the circle, and that stays pretty much, there's a constant stream for the first 45 minutes, and there's always a moment where we wonder if we can service so many, but we try not to throw the boxes through the windows, but we're fairly swift about it. And some people would like to chat for a bit, and we have to say, move on, we'll get the next car. We are really delighted that we're serving so many people. Often we see kids in the back, and we do have kids crafts as well, that if we count the kids in the back, we'll grab the kids craft kit for that week. Usually by 5 o'clock, it's slowing down a bit. By 5:30, it might be slowing down a bit. We're serving fairly continuously through to 6, and so far we have actually been able to serve everyone that's come through. Even though last week was 473, we had a small half pot left that I think the volunteers took home. It does take some training to do this kind of thing and make sure you've got everything right, that the box is closed, safe, it's not going to spill in the car, this kind of thing. But we make every effort to make sure the food is A, safe temperature, that's the most important, and B, healthy, and C, it looks good in that box. There is a different clientele, different group of guests coming to the drive-through than we used to have at the pavilion. The gathering used to attract a lot of older people who were encouraged by the live music and the great company. We don't have that gathering, that social gathering anymore. And in fact, that has encouraged some families, I think, the working families that didn't feel they needed to come to a meal, now are in greater need. And so we're seeing a more of a cross-section of real Waimea coming through. I should also say that we do have walk-ins. We have walk-throughs from some of the homeless in our community. We are not delivering so many to kupuna. We know that kupuna are being given meals by ipis, among other groups. But some of the kupuna are coming through, are being driven by friends, and getting a meal and waving hi and saying they miss us. And we do too, but we're practicing social distancing for all the best reasons. And we're still providing a great service, I think, for many in need, and we're very happy to do it. We couldn't do it without the help of the community, especially farmers, bakers, ranchers, and our sponsors. We have 1 or 2 sponsors every week, and they provide us with cash funds to help buy the food that we don't get given. Now, we used to have a big crew of 20-25 volunteers help us prep all the veggies, rinse and chop. Now we're down to 6 or 7 in the kitchen so that we can keep a distance, and obviously everyone's wearing a mask and gloves. But we're still dealing with a lot of food going through the kitchen. We're making simple salads and slightly more creative salads, and then we make the main dish as well. Today was turkey broccoli casserole. Next week, I believe, is shepherd's pie. Last week was spaghetti, with meatballs. So we try to create a healthy meal, and we box it rather differently than we used to provide it before, so that we actually have a cup with a top with the main hearty hot dish, the salad to one side, the rice to the other side, bread, and a cookie or dessert of some kind on top. We buy the main course. usually. But we also often have a lot of donations from Costco, and that in the past has been whole pallets of chicken or deli foods. And we recently had a donation of a whole cow from Pu'u Pale Ranch. And actually that's why we're going to do shepherd's pie next week. We collected 300 pounds of burger from them just on Tuesday, and we were initially in trouble because we didn't have that kind of freezer space. But a few calls, and soon after that, HPA, the Hawaii Preparatory Academy, offered to loan us their freezer space. I do want to say a big mahalo to all of our volunteers. First of all the volunteers that we had to say, please stay home. We don't have such a big group anymore. We can't use volunteers from the sponsoring group to serve in the same way that we used to, and we had to tell most of the seniors to stay home and not come in. But the volunteers that are coming in are working much harder. And I do want to point out that not all of the volunteers by any means are from St. James Church. They are from all over Waimea, all over from other churches, Annunciation Church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Their Bishop Tracy Yost is going to be serving with us today. And we are very grateful for all of their support. It's what makes this community great, and it's what makes this meal still a community celebration.